And I feel like, I don't know if it's a Silicon Valley thing, but I feel like a lot of companies in that space, right? It's always like, if you see a problem, you should solve it kind of mentality. And especially like with code, it's always like, yeah, if you see a problem, why don't you build a product to solve it? That should be what you do. Both
Yeah.
at like a large company like Palantir or Facebook, or as a startup.
Well, I'll make an interesting. I don't know, Ben. We can talk more about this, or to help steer me if you don't think this is interesting for folks. But like, one of the things I appreciated about Palantir is that we built products for what I would call like real people. We had no customers who were based in SF. Like, we had no tech customers, right? Like, and I think there's something to that of like, and the point I'm trying to make with this is that the thing you were just talking about workflow and how something works, I think is underappreciated. And I think the problem that I see with founders who come from tech companies where they didn't have that exposure to like what I would call like real people and like real users is that they think that like all the other users are like them. And so I think one of the problems that we saw in kind of the data space is that a lot of data science tools, they were built assuming that you were like a data scientist at Uber. And it was like, data scientists at Uber have to pass the engineering interview for like the level below them. Like, these are really technical people for whom like setting up Python environments and all of this is like, a tractable thing. At Palantir, we spent all of our time building software for like soldiers or like petroleum engineers or like people on the factory floor at an aircraft manufacturer. Mm-hmm. And these are people for whom like they're very technical, they're very analytical. They want to use data to do their best work, but the workflow matters. Like they're not going to install a Python environment. Like having a workflow that's well integrated and feels good and is intuitive will actually make or break their ability to get value from their data. And I think that was one of the observations we had really early on is like a lot of the existing products in the data science world, whether they were open source or commercially available, I think were built for like an actual very small portion of the population compared to all the people who could get value from being able to use data better in their day-to-day.